Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today is another video about prompt generation, how I do that, how my mind goes through the process, and where we land. For some help here for the prompt generation, I have the World Builders Journal officially from D&D. I recommend buying their books used for personal reasons, and we have the Essential Character Creation Blueprint and Workbook by ScribeForge. Buy their stuff official. These guys are awesome. So same as last time, we're going to go through those two books and get some prompts and ideas, and then we are going to write it down in our little field notes here. So this is nice. I like to write down the question, my thoughts along the way, and we can see where our prompt lands. Once we have that prompt, it goes in this gray notebook here. Don't have any examples in here yet because it's a fresh notebook. But that question will go in here, and then as soon as I can go out and actually write, it'll go in this book, and then that's where we get the fun video with those nice nature shots and so forth. So today is 5:30. Put that cap to the side. Today's 5:30:24, and we need a prompt. For those of you wondering, this is the Lamy 2022 Special Edition in Strawberry, I believe it is, and we're chambered up with Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. Beautiful little blue ink. Doesn't necessarily highlight well in this notebook, but in general, it looks pretty good. So let's get that out of the way and pick a prompt. Create an NPC who cannot speak but communicates in an unusual way, such as through hand signals, smells, or changing eye color. Very dynamic setup there. I'm kind of interested in that one. So let's see. Put that there. Let's bookmark this one. And we'll see if we can get something to accent it. So an NPC who cannot communicate verbally, but does so in another way. So let's flip. And with that mannerism, how do they show care? That's really cool. That's a very cool setup. So I'm going to lock that one in. So an NPC who cannot speak but communicates unusually. And we want the goal of showing how they care. We want the goal of showing how they care. Create an NPC who cannot communicate verbally and wants to show that they care. So for this one, what's immediately coming to my mind is, what first came to my mind was sort of an end of the world situation. You know, they haven't spoken, or they've lost the ability to speak. And, you know, everything's on the line. Something's about to happen, you know, the final battle or whatever. And they're trying to get across, hey, this is a big deal, and I need you to know that I care. Or, you know, whatever. Maybe it's a love situation. I'll probably make it love. So MC, let's just say end of the world, or maybe a major battle. End of the world, big event. I think to make this maybe a little bit more impactful, try and highlight a recent loss of this ability to speak. Loss of speaking is recent. And maybe we can juxtapose that with, so this is kind of cool because, you know, in these movies and these big scenes and such, the less said is often better. You know, you don't need to drown the scene with long phrases or drawn out speeches, whatever. It's the less you can say, the better. So I'm very interested to see how I get through a person who cannot speak. Maybe it's because it'll have to be not only a gesture that is probably personal to this character, whatever other character that they're interacting with, but one that is immediately, what's the word? It's immediately apparent to the reader, the viewer, however you want to see this scene. It's immediately apparent what they're doing, the impact it should have on not only their relationship, but the greater scene at hand. So, end of the world big event. They lost their sense of speaking recently. Maybe this person has been... I think for just about anybody, they'd be awfully depressed losing their ability to speak, especially with, if they saw this battle coming. Knowing that they couldn't communicate is a big deal, and that might issue some kind of depression or some other form of sadness. So let's say recent history of sadness here. Maybe there's an urgency to their speaking. We could make it like an ironic thing. This was the head of communication, and now they can't talk. I probably won't go that route. But I like what I'm seeing is it'll be this dramatic scene between probably two characters. The person who lost their ability to speak is doing some kind of a gesture to signal to whoever it is they're talking about, probably a leader or some other important figure, like, I'm with you, we can do this, win or fail. Maybe it'll be a moment where only those two are alive. It could be something like that. Actually, I like that one more. I like we're in the heat of battle rather than before it starts. I like that a little bit more. So we're going to run with that. I like this idea. An NPC. So we've got our... So this is an NPC, so technically this would not even be our main character, but either way... Kicking my camera. I like the idea of an NPC who cannot communicate verbally. The book... I already lost the page here, but they suggested a character who communicates maybe with a smell, or they change their eye color. Those are both really cool ideas. I like that a lot. And, this could be like a World War II situation. They're in a bunker. Maybe, maybe this character who can't speak has already given the other character who can speak some kind of hand signals or whatever to establish communication, and maybe now the other character loses their hearing. So one can't hear and one can't speak, but they can still communicate. That's pretty good. I like that even better. Big emphasis on pre-established. So while I'm writing this, I'll definitely have to... Because when I'm writing, I like to have repeating themes, so it doesn't seem like a Deus Ex Machina situation, oh, well, I just lost my hearing, but good thing that we established this earlier, that we had hand signals, rather than, the story begins and this NPC here, they're frustrated. They can't get these hand communications across, but they get me. Maybe he gives the... I need a better name for these people here. So we'll say main character is the guy or gal who loses hearing, and we'll call it the NPC. Sheesh. We'll call the NPC the one who can't speak. And we'll leave the reason they can't speak kind of nebulous and ambiguous, so it's not really something to harp on, the one who can't speak. So NPC, will have to establish frustration. Maybe not only like them being frustrated that they can't communicate, but frustration from other people who are sick and tired of trying to figure out this person when there's already so much on the line. And then somewhere in, this story, MC will lose their hearing, and they'll have to, in the moment, go over, like, what does this hand signal mean, or whatever, or, what does this eye color mean? Lots of ways we could go with this. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to end. I think, generally speaking, every story, if they lose, I think automatically makes the story way more interesting. So maybe these characters die. Maybe one of them die, maybe both of them die. And, I'm smudging my ink here, darn it. Maybe one of them die, maybe both of them die. We'll see where it takes us. That's a really good prompt. I like where that's going. I think it's got a lot of potential, and we'll go from there. We'll see where it goes. See you in the next one.